This is Faculty Focus from Fairleigh Dickinson University. In this episode, we feature Dr. Michael Avaltroni, Dean of the FDU School of Pharmacy. He's a Fairleigh Dickinson University undergraduate alumnus who went on to get a PhD in chemistry and was a driving force in the creation of the pharmacy school.
Pharmacists were thought of as the dispensers of medication. It was always thought of as the pharmacist was sort of hiding behind a counter, or in a hospital was hiding in the basement. We do have, I think, a lot of opportunities going forward for pharmacists to be able to take over new challenges and really start to expand their role. One of the things that you would see if you walk into a CVS, a Rite Aid, or even an independent pharmacy these days, you see a lot more of a presence of the pharmacist in the area of immunization, in the area of medication therapy management, and importantly as well, you start to see that pharmacists are beginning to really be valued for their skills beyond just simply dispensing, and a lot more in the way of providing counsel, providing advice, providing interactions with physicians. Additionally, what we're starting to see is that there's a lot of growth in the area of pharmacy in industry, in biotechnology, across the FDA, in hospitals and health systems. And so we're really, I think, very excited about the fact that the pharmacist is really poised to be the first-line healthcare professional going forward. I think that one of the things that we're proudest of in building a school of pharmacy is that we've really stayed true to the mission of what we were about, and that was very early on when we asked what the needs were from the community at large. What we heard was that I don't know if you need another school of pharmacy, but I do know you need a different school of pharmacy. And I think we've really tried to stay very true to the fact that we are a different school of pharmacy, that we're really focused on trying to produce graduates who have a lot of the skills necessary to become leaders in pharmacy wherever they go. I think what we talk about is our 5 core values within the School of Pharmacy: think, communicate, lead, advocate, and implement. We are at the crossroads of an epidemic. Reality is that currently painkiller abuse and prescription drug abuse is set to overtake most other drug abuses as really the leading killer and the leading hospitalizer for our general population. It's become a particular epidemic on college campuses. It's become an epidemic in high schools. It's become an epidemic in the party scene, if you will. And I think that the reality is that we are at a very dangerous crossroads of not fully understanding the downsides of something that is very well made, very well purified, and very well packaged. I think many people would say, who are in the industry, physicians, pharmaceutical companies themselves, that advertising and the onset of pharmaceutical advertising has probably been at once the greatest and the worst thing that's happened to the pharmaceutical industry. Pharmacists have to be better communicators. They have to be people who can at once speak to a physician and get a physician to understand why they're telling them something and why they're maybe arguing for a different treatment for their patient. But additionally, at the same time, have to be able to speak to someone who's a layperson and be able to articulate to them in 2 minutes in sort of a soundbite fashion to counteract that advertisement and counteract any of the things that were misunderstood within that advertisement as well. My research actually is in the area of materials chemistry, but I was focused specifically on attaching biomedical coatings to orthopedic devices for the purposes of making them better integrated in the body. So it was something that was very medical and relevant, but in a big picture rather than just on a one-on-one basis. About 5 years ago, I was the chair of the Department of Chemistry and Pharmaceutical Science here, and then President Adams came to me and said, what do you think of the idea of creating a school of pharmacy? And I said, I really don't know because it's not my area. I'll get back to you. And I began to explore the horizons of pharmacy and a lot of the things that pharmacists are doing, a lot of the places where pharmacists are evolving and going, and a lot of the things that pharmacy as a future, I think, is exciting in terms of the way in which the profession is evolving. And so what I started to look at was the needs of the future of healthcare, the needs of the future of pharmacy in particular, and started to really get excited about being able to build a program that fit those needs.